The FGM-148 Javelin, or Advanced Anti-Tank Weapon System Medium, is an American-made portable anti-tank missile system in service since 1996, and continuously upgraded. It replaced the M47 Dragon anti-tank missile in U.S. service. Its fire and forget design uses automatic infrared guidance that allows the user to seek cover immediately after launch, in contrast to wire-guided systems, like the system used by the Dragon, which require a user to guide the weapon throughout the engagement. The Javelin's high-explosive anti-tank warhead can defeat modern tanks by top attack, hitting them from above, where their armor is thinnest, and is also useful against fortifications in a direct attack flight. As of 2019, the Javelin had been used in around 5,000 successful engagements. Overview. Javelin is a fire and forget missile with lock-on before launch and automatic self-guidance. The system takes a top attack flight profile against armored vehicles, attacking the usually thinner top armor, but can also make a direct attack, for use against buildings, targets too close for top attack, targets under obstructions and helicopters. It can reach a peak altitude of 150 m in top attack mode and 60 m in direct attack mode. Initial versions had a range of 2000 m, later increased to 2500 m. It is equipped with an imaging infrared seeker. The tandem warhead is fitted with two shaped charges, a precursor warhead to detonate any explosive reactive armor and a primary warhead to penetrate base armor. The missile is ejected from the launcher to a safe distance from the operator before the main rocket motors ignite a soft launch arrangement. This makes it harder to identify the launcher, though backblast from the launch tube still poses a hazard to nearby personnel. The firing team may move as soon as the fire and forget missile has been launched, or immediately prepare to fire on their next target. The missile system is sometimes carried by two soldiers consisting of a gunner and an ammunition bearer, although one soldier can fire it. While the gunner aims and fires the missile, the ammunition bearer scans for prospective targets, watches for threats like enemy vehicles or troops, and ensures that personnel and obstacles are clear of the missile's launch backblast. Development. In 1983, the United States Army introduced its AAWSM requirement and, in 1985, the AAWSM was approved for development. In August 1986, the proof of principle phase of development began, with a $30 million contract awarded for technical proof demonstrators, Ford Aerospace, Hughes Aircraft Missile System Group and Texas Instruments. In late 1988, the POP phase ended and, in June 1989, the full-scale development contract was awarded to a joint venture of Texas Instruments and Martin Marietta. The AAWSM received the designation of FGM-148. In April 1991, the first test flight of the Javelin succeeded, and in March 1993, the first test firing from the launcher succeeded. In 1994, low levels of production were authorized, and the first Javelins were deployed with U.S. Army units in 1996. Test and evaluation. Development test and evaluation is conducted to demonstrate the engineering design and development process is complete. It is used to reduce risk, validate, and qualify the design. It also ensures that the product is ready for government acceptance. The DT&E results are evaluated to ensure that design risks have been minimized and the system will meet specifications. Results are also used to estimate the system's military readiness when it is introduced into service. DT&E serves a critical purpose as it reduces the risks of hazards by testing selected high-risk components or subsystems. DT&E is the government developing agency tool used to confirm that the system performs as specified and that the system is ready for field testing. DT&E is an iterative process of designing, building, testing, identifying deficiencies, fixing, retesting, and repeating. It is performed in the factory, laboratory, and on the proving ground by the contractors and the government. Contractor and government testing is combined into one integrated test program and conducted to determine if the performance requirements have been met and to provide data to the decision authority. The General Accounting Office, since renamed Government Accountability Office, published a report questioning the adequacy of Javelin testing. The report, titled Army Acquisition Javelin is Not Ready for Multi-Year Procurement, opposed entering into full-rate production in 1997 and expressed the need for further operational testing due to the many redesigns undergone. In 1995, Secretary of Defense William Perry had set forth 5 new operational test initiatives. These included: 1. Getting operational testers involved early in development, 2. Use of modeling and simulation, 3. Integrating development and operational testing, 4. Combining testing and training, and 5. Applying concepts to demos and acquisitions. The late-phase development of the Javelin retroactively benefited from the then-new operational test initiatives set forth by the Secretary of Defense, as well as a further test conducted as a consequence of the Army's response to the GA report. Before the Milestone 3 decision, and before fielding to 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment at Fort Benning, the Javelin was subjected to limited parts of the 5 operational test and evaluation initiatives, as well as a portability operational test program, which included live firings with the full-rate configuration weapon. Per initiatives and as a DT&E function, the Institute for Defense Analyses and the Defense Department's Director of Operational Test and Evaluation became involved in 3 development test activities, including: 1. Reviewing initial operational test and evaluation plans, 2. Monitoring initial operational test and evaluation, and 3. Structuring follow-on test and evaluation activities. The results of these efforts detected problems and corrected significant problems which led to modified test plans, savings in test costs, and GAU satisfaction. Qualification testing. The Javelin Environmental Test System is a mobile test set for Javelin all-up-round and the Command Launch Unit. It can be configured to functionally test the OR or the CLU individually or both units in a mated tactical mode. This mobile unit may be repositioned at the various environmental testing facilities. The mobile system is used for all phases of Javelin qualification testing. There is also a non-mobile jets used for stand-alone CLU testing. This system is equipped with an environmental chamber and is primarily used for product verification testing. Capabilities include Javelin CLU testing, Javelin OR testing, Javelin mated mode testing, Javelin testing in various environmental conditions, and CLU PRVT. The all-up-round test sets include extreme temperature testing, missile tracker testing, seeker/focal plane array testing, pneumatic leakage, continuity measurements, ready time, and guidance sections. Components. The system consists of 3 main components: the Command Launch Unit, the Launch Tube Assembly and the missile itself. Command Launch Unit. The gunner carries a reusable Command Launch Unit, more commonly referred to as a CLU, which is the targeting component of the 2-part system. The CLU has 3 views which are used to find, target, and fire the missile and may also be used separately from the missile as a portable thermal sight. Infantry are no longer required to stay in constant contact with armored personnel carriers and tanks with thermal sights. This makes infantry personnel more flexible and able to perceive threats they would not otherwise be able to detect. In 2006, a contract was awarded to Toyon Research Corporation to begin development of an upgrade to the CLU enabling the transmission of target image and GPS location data to other units. Day Field of View, WFOV, NFOV, Lightweight CLU, Launch Tube Assembly. Both the gunner and the ammunition bearer carry the launch tube assembly, a disposable tube that houses the missile and protects the missile from harsh environments. The tube has built-in electronics and a locking hinge system that makes attachment and detachment of the missile to and from the command launch unit a quick and simple process. Missile, warhead, propulsion, seeker, focal plane array, cooling/calibration, stabilization, tracker, training. A great familiarity of each control and swift operation needs to be achieved before the unit can be deployed efficiently. American troops are trained on the system at the infantry school in Fort Benning, Georgia, for 2 weeks. The soldiers are taught basic care and maintenance, operation and abilities, assembly and disassembly, and the positions it can be fired from. Soldiers are also taught to distinguish between a variety of vehicle types even when only a rough outline is visible. The soldiers must accomplish several timed drills with set standards before being qualified to operate the system in both training and wartime situations. There are also smaller training programs set up on most Army bases that instruct soldiers on the proper use of the system. At these courses, the training program might be changed in small ways. This is most commonly only minor requirements left out due to budget, the number of soldiers versus simulation equipment, and available time and resources. Both types of training courses have required proficiency levels that must be met before the soldier can operate the system in training exercises or wartime missions. Combat history. The Javelin was used by the U.S. Army, the U.S. Marine Corps and the Australian Special Forces in the 2003 invasion of Iraq on Iraqi Type 69 and Lion of Babylon tanks. During the Battle of Debeka Pass, a platoon of U.S. Special Forces soldiers equipped with javelins destroyed 2 T-55 tanks, 8 armored personnel carriers, and 4 troop trucks. During the war in Afghanistan, the Javelin was used effectively in counterinsurgency operations. Initially, soldiers perceived the weapon as unsuitable for coin due to its destructive power, but trained gunners were able to make precision shots against enemy positions with little collateral damage. The Javelin filled a niche in U.S. weapons systems against DSHK heavy machine guns and B-10 recoilless rifles. Weapons like the AT-4 and the M203 grenade launcher were powerful enough, but the 300 range was insufficient. Conversely, while medium and heavy machine guns and automatic grenade launchers had the range, they lacked the power, and heavy mortars, which had both a good range and more than enough power, were not accurate enough. The Javelin had enough range, power, and accuracy for dismounted infantry to counter standoff engagement tactics employed by enemy weapons. With good locks, the missile is most effective against vehicles, caves, fortified positions, and individual personnel. If enemy forces were inside a cave, a javelin fired into the mouth of the cave would destroy it from the inside, which was not possible from the outside using heavy mortars. The psychological effect of the sound of a javelin firing sometimes caused insurgents to disengage and flee their position. Even when not firing, the Javelin CLU was commonly used as a man-portable surveillance system. During the al-Shaddadi offensive of the Syrian civil war in February 2016, a Javelin was used to blow up an attacking suicide car bomb. In 2016, claims were posted on social media that the Syrian Kurdish People's Protection Units may have received Javelin missiles. By June 2018, it was still unconfirmed if the YPG themselves were fielding Javelin missiles, although U.S. Special Forces units have been seen operating them in support of Syrian Democratic Forces advances during the Deir-ez-Zor campaign in the Middle Euphrates River Valley. In June 2019, forces of the Libyan Government of National Accord captured 4 Javelins from the forces of the Libyan National Army. These missiles had been provided by the UAE. During the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine, NATO provided thousands of Javelins to Ukraine, where they proved highly effective. Javelins have been responsible for a part of the hundreds of armored vehicles Ukraine has destroyed, captured, or damaged. An image dubbed Saint Javelin, which shows Mary Magdalene holding a javelin launcher in the style of an Eastern Orthodox church painting, gained attraction in social media and soon became a symbol of the Ukrainian resistance against the Russian invasion. An unknown number of javelin launch tube assemblies were captured by the Russian armed forces during the conflict. It is unclear if any of the captured launchers contained live rounds, or were simply tubes discarded after being used. On March 18, the Pentagon claimed out of 112 javelins fired by the Ukrainians since the start of the war, 100 missiles had hit their target. Some of these missiles were captured by Russia during this war. In a commentary from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, concerns were raised over the U.S. stock of Javelin missiles. According to CSIS, the U.S. has used close to one-third of its Javelin missiles. 7,000 have been supplied thus far, with the United States buying javelins at the rate of about 1,000 a year. The maximum production rate is 6,480 a year, but it would likely take a year or more to reach that level. Orders take 32 months to deliver. The report concluded that it would take about 3 or 4 years to replace the missiles that have already been sent to Ukraine. The missile production rate could be increased greatly with a national procurement effort. On May 8, 2022, Lockheed Martin CEO James Taiclet stated that Lockheed will nearly double the production of Javelins to 4,000 a year. Additionally, Ukrainian officials estimated that up to 500 missiles per day were being used in the early days of the war. On August 8, 2022, the U.S. committed to sending an additional 1,000 Javelin missiles. Iran reportedly received an example of the Javelin missile from Russia, along with other Western munitions captured in Ukraine, as part of a larger deal for Shahid and Mohajer drones. Variants. The Javelin weapon system has been incrementally upgraded, resulting in a number of variants and production blocks. FGM-148A, initial version. FGM-148B, an improved version. FGM-148C, a further improved version. FGM-148D, export version. FGM-148E, the result of a project called Spiral 1, it replaced electronic components in the control actuator section of the missile for cost and weight savings. Production started in 2017. FGM-148F, the result of a project called Spiral 2, fitted with a multi-purpose warhead. Production started in May 2020. FGM-148G, the expected result of a project called Spiral 3, it will develop a new launch tube assembly and battery unit, and will replace the current gas-cooled seeker with an uncooled seeker in the guidance section of the missile. Production missiles will be designated FGM-148G. Operators. Current operators. Australia, 92 launchers. Bahrain, 13 launchers. Czech Republic, purchased 3 launchers and 12 missiles for its special forces. An additional order totaling $10.21 million was placed in December 2015 for 50 missiles and 3 launchers. Estonia, 80 CLU and 350 missiles purchased from the United States. In service from 2016. France, 76 launchers and 260 missiles for use in Afghanistan. Was replacing Milan anti-tank missile. No follow-on order in favor of the missile Moyen Porti. Georgia, 72 CLUs and 410 missiles received in 2018, and the delivery of another 46 CLUs and 82 missiles approved in 2021. The first foreign military sale to the Georgian military consisting of 410 missiles, and 72 CLUs includes 2 Javelin Block 1 CLUs to be used as spares was approved for $75 million. Another contract that was approved in 2021 consisted of 46 CLUs and 82 missiles for a total sum of $30 million. Indonesia, 25 launchers and 189 missiles. Javelin Block 1 variant in a $60 million deal. Ireland, Irish Army, replaced Milan anti-tank missile. Jordan, 30 launchers and 116 missiles were received in 2004, and another 162 CLUs, 18 fly-to-buy missiles, 1,808 Javelin anti-tank guided missiles and other support equipment was ordered in 2009. The estimated cost is $388 million. Jordan placed another order of $133.9 million in 2017. Libya, used by the Libyan National Army. Lithuania, total, 144 CLU and 871 missiles purchased from the United States. In 2001, 40 launchers and 200 missiles. The first European country to receive this launcher and missile system. In December 2015, DSCA approved for a possible foreign military sale to Lithuania for another 220 missiles and 74 CLUs for $55 million, plus 30 CLU and 350 missiles in 2026. New Zealand, 24 launchers and 390 missiles. Norway, 100 launchers and 526 missiles. Delivered from 2006, in use from 2009. In 2017, Norwegian authorities started the process of finding a replacement anti-tank weapon, in order to counter new types of heavy tanks equipped with active protection systems capable of defeating missiles like the Javelin. Oman, 30 launchers. Poland, 79 launchers, 180 missiles. Qatar, in March 2013, Qatar requested the sale of 500 Javelin missiles and 50 command launch units. The deal was signed in March 2014. Saudi Arabia, 20 launchers and 150 missiles. Taiwan, in 2002, Taiwan bought 360 missiles and 40 launcher units for $39 million. The contract also included training devices, logistics support, associated equipment, and training. In 2008, the United States issued a congressional notification for the sale of a further 20 launchers and 182 more missiles. Ukraine, over 5,500 systems. In March 2018, Ukraine purchased 210 missiles and 37 launchers from the United States worth $47 million. No details beyond the confirmation of the delivery have been provided. At the end of 2019, Ukraine announced it had signed contracts to purchase another 150 missiles and 10 launchers. On June 21, 2020, they were sent to Ukraine. In early December 2021, the commander of the Joint Forces operation confirmed deployment of Javelin missiles with troops near the line of contact in eastern Ukraine. For more recent deliveries, see List of foreign aid to Ukraine during the Russo-Ukrainian War. United Arab Emirates. United Kingdom. The UK Ministry of Defence purchased 850 Javelin units and 9,000 missiles for the Light Forces anti-tank guided weapon system requirement. Javelin entered UK service in 2005, replacing the Milan and Swing fire systems. United States, although not officially reported, budget records indicate that the US had 20,000 to 25,000 Javelin units on hand in 2021. Prior to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Future. Brazil, on August 9, 2022, the State Department has made a determination approving a possible foreign military sale to the government of Brazil of Javelin missiles and related equipment for an estimated cost of up to $74 million. The government of Brazil has requested to buy up to 222 Javelin missiles, FGM-148, and 33 Javelin command launch units. Albania. On May 16, 2022, Lockheed Martin in a press release stated that the company had received orders from several international customers including Norway, Albania, Latvia, and Thailand. The purchase was confirmed a few days later by the Ministry of Defense, Niko Paleshi, for yet an undisclosed number and contract value of the system. Latvia. On May 16, 2022, Lockheed Martin in a press release stated that the company had received orders from several international customers including Norway, Albania, Latvia, and Thailand. Thailand. On July 30, 2021, the U.S. State Department announced a possible foreign military sale to Thailand of 300 Javelin FGM-148 missiles and 50 Javelin command launch units worth $83.5 million.